Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our March 4th board meeting. Please join us in the pledge. Councilwoman Noah.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Here.
Councilman McCarthy.
Here.
Councilwoman Noack.
Here.
Councilwoman Angelillo.
Here.
Okay, we will start this afternoon. We have one site plan. Mr. Trout.
Good afternoon, Supervisor, members of the Town Board. Liam Trotter with the Planning Department, and I have one site plan to present this afternoon to the Board, acting as the Board of Site Plan Review. The application is called New Horizon Counseling Center. The subject site is located on the southeast corner of Jericho Turnpike and Wyandanch Boulevard in Smithtown. The proposal is for the construction of a 3,115 square foot one-story addition to an existing office building, a parking lot expansion, new retaining walls, and associated site work. This application received approval from the Board of Zoning Appeals and a TDFR credit. The area of the proposed addition will be going in a vacant portion of the site. The addition will go to the east of the existing medical office building. Parking will loop around as well. The applicant is proposing a retaining wall at the south end of the parking lot and will revegetate the slope. This is the proposed elevations of the addition, and included with the proposal, they'll redo the facade of the existing portion of the building so it matches the addition, modernize the structure. The applicant has agreed to 5 conditions of site plan approval. The first condition is that they obtain applicable permits from the town building department, and that the proposed ground sign shall not exceed 8 feet in height and shall be either monument sign or a double post pylon sign. The second condition is that the applicant install a tree preservation fence around all trees to be preserved on site prior to the issuance of a building permit. The third condition is that they obtain a highway work permit from the town highway department for any improvements along Wyandanch Boulevard. The fourth condition is that they obtain a highway work permit from the New York State Department of Transportation for a new curb cut and improvements along Jericho Turnpike, and that an approved set of DOT highway work permit plans be submitted to the town engineering department. And the last condition is that the applicant receive a separate building permit for the proposed retaining walls. Does the board have any questions?
The retaining wall, how high is that?
That is, I think, a 6 or 7 foot retaining wall.
7 foot?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
They receive variances for that retaining wall.
Any other questions by the board?
No questions.
All right, Mr. Trotter, thank you. That'll be voted on at the end of the agenda. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. We'll move, sitting as Board of Water Commissioners, Deputy Clerk.
Okay, but on the Board of Water, with the minutes of February 20th, and transfer between budget accounts.
Councilwoman Angelillo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
For the Town Board agenda,
You're reconvening as Town Board, sorry.
we have a public hearing is to consider amendments to Chapter 248 of the Town Code entitled Subdivision of Land as it relates to filing fees. And Rachel Lindberger from the Town Attorney is here to describe the amendments.
Good afternoon, Supervisor and members of the board. The purpose of this hearing is to consider an amendment to Section 248-33. This proposed amendment is to change the filing fee from $10 to $15. Unless there are any questions, that concludes this presentation.
Any questions by the board?
No questions.
Anyone in the audience wish to be heard on this public hearing? There being none, move to close.
Second.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilwoman Angelillo.
Yes. The second public hearing is going to be postponed until the March 20th meeting.
Okay, that'll be on March 20th, right? We're advertised, okay. All right, we'll move forward.
Advertised for public hearing. The first one is not actually an advertised for a public hearing. It's an advertised for the modification of the Community Development Program budget year 2022 to transfer money between accounts and to authorize the town clerk to place a public notice in the official town newspaper regarding same, with any public comments due by April 7th. The second is authorize the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to be held at Town Hall on Thursday, March 20th at 2 p.m. to consider amendments to Chapter Traffic Code 5-1 of the town entitled Commercial Vehicles as it relates to truck exclusions.
Councilwoman Israelo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
On the consent agenda, it's the minutes from the February 20th meeting. For Comptroller, it's Resolutions 1 to 12 and Resolutions 1 and 2.
Anyone on the board wish to remove any resolutions from the consent agenda?
No, thank you.
Mr. Clerk?
Councilwoman Israelo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
The town board to issue a CEQA negative declaration determination in the matter of the application for site plan approval by New Horizons Counseling Center for the west side of Jericho Turnpike on Wyandanch Boulevard for the reasons stated in the memorandum from the Environmental Protection Director.
Councilwoman Israelo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
Authorize the town clerk to advertise for bid 2525 bearings, sprockets, and chains, and 2530 sump maintenance.
Councilwoman Israelo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
Award the following bids and authorize the purchase of the associated goods or services. Bid 2511 athletic field clay to Wattrell Brothers. 25-2 for automotive rebuilding services to drivetrain truck parts. 25-5 annual supply bid for polyethylene bags to Interboro Packaging Corporation. 25-14 print and distribute the annual recreation guide to Hague Graphic Communications. And 25-16 removal and processing of curbside recyclable materials to Long Island Waste Services.
Councilwoman Israelo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
Town Board to approve the following: an extension of bid 24-4, HVAC maintenance and repair with AccuTemp, extension of bid 24-21, flooring and tile installation with Gold Star Installation, Highway Department to utilize the Nassau County BOCES Cooperative Bidding Program, authorize the issuance of a bond in the amount of $1,400,000 to finance the construction of various park improvements, the CEQA Type 2, ratify the supervisor's execution of an amendment to the collective bargaining agreement with the SAG unit to amend the salary for the position of deputy tax receiver. And the last is the private plow rates for hired equipment for snow removal effective through November 30th, 2025.
Councilwoman Israelo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
Authorize the acceptance of a donation to the animal shelter from David Cabasa for $250.
Councilwoman Israelo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
Authorize the supervisor to execute the following resolutions on a form approved by the town attorney. An agreement with Craig Fitzsimmons and Meyer to certify consolidated fiscal report in the Horizons Department. A Department of Homeland Security 2022 Cybersecurity Grant Application Submission. An agreement with Civic Plus for online accessibility for program enrollment, park and recreation permit applications, and fee collection. An agreement with Contaldo Grasso for architectural services for interior renovations of the existing controller's office.
Councilwoman Israelo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
And personnel items number A through I as described on the agenda.
Councilwoman Israelo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes. That concludes resolutions. We will vote on the site plan.
Okay, on the site plan, it's the minutes from the February 4th, and conditionally approved the site plan for the New Horizons Counseling Center, described at the beginning of the meeting by Liam Trotter from our planning department.
Councilwoman Israelo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes. That concludes resolutions on the agenda today. We will move to the public portion. Do we have anyone to speak?
I don't have any speaker cards, so,
I didn't fill one out. Sorry, you should fill one out?
Yep.
No, that's okay. Do you want
we can-
to come and speak?
Yeah.
All right. Before you start, public participation is subject to the rules of decorum, which you have on your cards, which you didn't fill out, but that's okay. Public portion is for town-related matters only. Any unsubstantiated, unverified, or material false information will be interrupted. 3-minute rule will be in effect, so I ask you to please keep your comments at 3 minutes. When you hear the tone, you know you have 1 minute to complete your comment. Thank you very much.
All right, good afternoon, board. My name is Richard Janish. I'm a homeowner and taxpayer in Smithtown. I'm here today to discuss the 15-year slip use restriction that was imposed, I guess, last year for the marina. When I signed up for a town slip 30 years ago, the slip was a lifetime use. There was no restrictions. I waited on the list like everybody else. And of course, this year when I finally got selected for a slip, I found that I was also had the 15-year slip restriction attached. I was in the same place last year, basically saying the same thing. The issue, is to find out, this year that the 15-year slip restriction was not changed or voted on, last year. And those of us who were on the list prior to the 15-year slip restriction, that needs to be voted on, I know some of the board members have slips and they have boats, that 15-year restriction, if it was imposed on you guys, my God, you'd be very upset. What am I supposed to do when I get a boat? I have one now, and in 15 years, what do you do with it? My boat's, fairly good size. Where do I put it? I could trail it every day, but the town, the roads, they'd scream at me. So, I'd like the board to reconsider, and grandfather the people that were on the list prior to, the 15-year slip use restriction, that was discussed last year in the meeting. Again, people were on that list for a long time, and they had, they anticipated a certain guarantee, and that guarantee was taken away. So I really appreciate it if you guys, ladies, look into that, and address that sooner than later. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have
Can I
just.
just ask a question?
Thank you.
Shoot.
Go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
How many years ago did you put your name on it?
30 years.
Were you 12?
No, I'm 62,
Well, you were
okay? I bought the house, I put my name on the list.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
Good.
Imagine
So-
29, 30 years, yeah.
Let me just say that I would ask you to stay in touch with us. We are aware of the situation, myself and Councilman McCarthy, who has the expertise in marinas. We are having some discussions. We think we may have a remedy for that particular situation, but just so you know, the intent always was to get that list down so that, unfortunately you did, but other people don't have to wait 30 years or 31 years for a slip. So, we took that action, but we think we have a remedy for folks like yourself that finally got the list, and then you come in under that umbrella of the 15 years. I would ask you, give us a couple weeks where we are working on it. You have my
Appreciate it.
word, and then we're gonna get back to all you folks. I think we have something that can make everybody happy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No other speakers?
Okay, that concludes, the board meeting for today. I'll move to close.
Second.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Millick.
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarello.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for attending.